I really do have some bookish problems. Hey Booktube, it's Kim at middle of the book march, and here it is, the fiction book haul. I posted a non-fiction book haul on Tuesday, and today's video is the fiction. I'm not going to tell you that I still have a few books I haven't received yet. I do. However, let's just blow past that. Let's just keep going. I'm going to have a third book haul, and it's going to be translated fiction. That might be another week or two, but I'm really excited about some translated books that I bought, and I just want to show you those. And then after these 3 book hauls, we're gonna kind of blow past the purchasing for a little while. I'm gonna concentrate on all the books I have on my shelves. Okay, so the first 2 I think I've shown you already. I bought this copy of Don Quixote, hopefully that I can get to it this year. This came up in the Critical Chicks book group for our side project of reading long classics. So this may be in the lineup. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to get to this year. I may, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And I did get Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky in the Penguin Deluxe Classics editions. Deckled edge, French flap. This one I am going to try to read, and I may have a couple of joiners from my book club, but I want to read this book this year, and we already have 3 long classics that we're setting aside for the year, and this was not one of them, so I might hopefully get to it. So let me show you some of the other books I got. This one was a gift from my mother-in-law. This is Octavia E. Butler's Blood Child. These are parables of the contemporary world, and Butler proves constant in her vigil, an unblinking pessimist hoping to be proven wrong, and one of contemporary literature's strongest voices. So I really am looking forward to this one. I think there's only a few stories in here, this little book. So I bought a copy of this book from the UK because I just really disliked the American cover. I know, it's weird. It's weird. I bought Trust by Hernan Diaz, and I started to read a sample of this on my e-reader, and I really enjoyed the writing, so I bought the hard copy. That's what I do. It starts with the roar and effervescence of the 1920s in New York. And it is aristocrats and endless wealth and losing wealth, excess, speculation. But how have they acquired their fortunes, and what have they had to do to get all this money? So that's going to be really interesting for me. And again, I did read a sample and I really enjoyed the writing, so I'm looking forward to that one. This was kind of an impulse buy. Guess why? It's not why. Number 1, it's a penguin. It's the orange spine. It's also deckled edges and French flaps. So why was this an impulse buy? I bought this at a used bookstore. It's in perfect condition, like it's never been read. I didn't go in looking for this book, but I saw it and I said, that looks really interesting. And this is The Island of the Day Before by Umberto Eco. And what is this about? Good question. So let's see. I believe, alone of all our race, the only man in human memory to have been shipwrecked and cast up upon a deserted ship. So begin the journals of Roberto della Griva, a 17th century nobleman who finds himself on board a mysterious ship anchored in the bay of a beautiful island he cannot reach. The story of how he got there and what he finds on board are just a part of this exquisitely crafted novel that celebrates the romance, war, politics, philosophy, and science of the Baroque period in all its lush and colorful detail. That sounds awesome. And I'm really glad I found it. I'm glad I decided to buy it, and it's mine. It's on my shelf. Okay, Here's one of my bookish problems. I bought a book that I already own on purpose. I did it on purpose. Why, do you say? Because I read this, I have the hardcover version of this book that I read years ago and absolutely loved it. And I found the paperback with deckled edges and French flaps. I have a problem. I really do. I don't know why I do this, but this is The Orchardist by Amanda Coplin. I read this in my book club years ago, and I thought it was a beautiful book, beautifully written. Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading also has shown this book, and when we both love a book, we tend to agree wholeheartedly. This is an absolutely beautiful book about a family and an apple orchard, and partly a coming-of-age story, and family secrets and family dynamics. It's so beautifully written. So I would highly recommend that one. This is a former library book. This is The Woman Who Read Too Much. And I am going to try to pronounce this author's name. This is, and I went online and I tried to listen to it, Bahia Nakshavani. And this is the cover. What is this about? This gossip was rife in the capital of the poetess of Qazvin. Some claimed she had been arrested for masterminding the murder of the Grand Mullah, her uncle. Others echoed her words and passed her poems from hand to hand. Everyone spoke of her beauty and her dazzling intelligence, but most alarming to the Shah and the court was how the poetess could read. As her warnings and predictions became prophecies fulfilled about the assassination of the Shah, the hanging of the mayor, and the murder of the Grand Vizier, many wondered whether she was not only reading history, but writing it as well. And this sounds very, very good. The author grew up in Uganda, was educated in the UK, and now lives in France. And I saw this somewhere, and I don't remember where. And I thought I have to have that book. So I bought that. Let's see. I have 3 more. I found Mary Oliver's Devotions at Goodwill for $2. And it's unread. Brand new. This is a Selected Poems of Mary Oliver. This is a pretty good sized book. What does this encompass? This has, there's selections from the collection Felicity of 2015, Blue Horses, 2014, Dog Songs, 2013, and it keeps going back in time to, I'm still turning pages of the table of contents. And the earliest collection of poems poems were pulled from there to include in this book, No Voyage and Other Poems, 1963 to 1965. And this was one of those books that I consider a jackpot when I go to Goodwill and find something like that for $2. This one was a gift. We have a Secret Santa at the Critical Chicks for Christmas. And my friend Michelle bought me this. What we basically do is we set up a list of 5 books that we would really like. And we have Secret Santas, and I coordinate this. So I do a random number, and I assign people a Secret Santa recipient. And my friend Michelle got me, and she gave me from my list Fellowship Point by Alice Elliott Dark. I've seen this here and there on Booktube, but I've been wanting to read this, and it looked good when I first saw that it came out. A decades-long friendship between 2 women tested in the twilight of their lives. I'm not even going to read anymore. It's 2 older middle-aged women who have been friends for a very long time, and there's a conflict that possibly pits them on opposite sides. So this is a pretty good sized book too. And the last one, I just recently got this in the mail. This is The Night Ship by Jess Kidd, and I knew the summary in advance. I almost don't care because all I care about is that it's Jess Kidd. And she's becoming very quickly a favorite author of mine. I read Himself at the end of last year and absolutely loved it. And I read Things in Jars a few years ago. I really loved that book as well. 1 Shipwreck, 2 Misfits, 3 Centuries Apart. 1629, a newly orphaned girl named Macon is bound for the Dutch East Indies on the Batavia, one of the greatest ships of the Dutch Golden Age. Curious and mischievous, Macon spends a long journey going on misadventures above and below the deck, searching for a mythical monster, but the true monsters may be closer than she thinks. And then it changes to 1989. A lonely boy named Gil, who after the death of his mother is sent to live with his grandfather, a taciturn fisherman off the coast of Western Australia, among the members of his seasonal fishing community where his late mother once lived. There, on the tiny reef-shrouded island, he discovers the story of an infamous shipwreck. Yep, I'm all in for Jess Kidd, all in for her newest novel. And that is my fiction book haul. I think that's it. Yeah, there's a couple more out there. I'm gonna show you these. I bought another copy of Romola by George Eliot in the Oxford World Classics, one of their older designs. Why, you say, since I already have a copy of Romola? Because I like this one better. And I bought this copy. The Everyman Library of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Why, do you say? Because I have a hardcover Barnes & Noble edition copy of Jane Eyre. And I love the Everyman classics, and it's paperback, so I bought that too. There, now you know. I have a problem. I buy books I already own on purpose. But you know why. Do you understand why I do that? If you do, let me know in the comments below. I love different versions, and if these are all used books, not a couple of novels that I have, but most of these classics are used. They're very thrifty. Do I need to justify my purchasing? No, I don't. But you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah, you do. That's it for my fiction haul. Keep an eye out for my translated fiction haul. I hope to have that next week, probably towards the end of next week. And let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these, if any of them look good to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.